The story opens in the past, back in 1983. We go back to the moment when Will was first taken by a creature and dragged into the Upside Down. He's running through that dark, twisted version of Hawkins, trying desperately to escape and hide. He ducks behind walls, runs through fog, does everything possible to stay away from Monster. But after all his efforts, the creature finally catches him. The monster drags Will deeper into the Upside Down until they arrive before Vecna. Here we understand something crucial. These monsters are basically Vecna's servants. They hunt and capture for him. Vecna looks at Will and speaks softly, almost like he's comforting him, but in a terrifying way. He tells Will, "I'll set you free. I'll always stay with you. You'll never feel alone again." Then Vecna forces some strange organic things into Will's mouth, almost like living parasites. The idea is simple and horrifying. No matter where Will goes, Vecna will always have a piece of himself inside Will. Will is now permanently connected to Vecna. From here, the story jumps to the present day. We shift back to present time and see Mike's house. Nancy is there, and many of the others are around too. Hawkins, surprisingly, looks stable and normal on the surface. The huge cracks that had split open across the town have been filled with concrete. The authorities have sealed everything up. Army vehicles keep circling the streets. Soldiers are on constant patrol. The church area, where that huge gate once opened and Vecna came through, is now completely sealed off. Heavy military presence surrounds it. Elsewhere, Robin is back to running her FM radio program. Steve is by her side, helping with the equipment and hanging out. We also learn that Robin has a secret crush on a girl named Vicky. While Robin is broadcasting, something goes wrong with the radio setup. There's a technical fault. Steve tries to handle it for a bit, then finally picks up the phone and calls Dustin. He tells Dustin, "We really need your help." Dustin acts all grown up and dramatic. He says, "I'm not helping you this time. You guys are adults now. Solve your own problems." At the moment, Dustin is at school. A boy named Andy and his friends start bothering Dustin again. They tease him, mock him, try to intimidate him. But Dustin isn't alone anymore. Mike, Lucas, 11, and will show up and stand with him. The bullies back off when they realize Dustin has an entire squad behind him. The group then scolds Dustin a bit, telling him not to get into unnecessary trouble because they won't always be there to bail him out. We as the audience know these kids once managed to hurt Vecna badly. But Vecna was never fully destroyed. He still exists in the Upside Down, dangerous as ever. Meanwhile, we see 11 again, our main hero. She's training, practicing, trying to sharpen her powers. Jim Hopper is with her, and Joyce is also part of their little circle of protection. But there's a major problem. The military is after 11. They believe that all the destruction in Hawkins, every weird event, every tragedy, is somehow connected to her. So they've made it their mission to capture her. Because of that, Hopper keeps 11 hidden and on the move. She travels carefully, avoids cameras and patrols, and uses Hopper's guidance to stay unseen. Hopper knows one thing. If the Army ever gets a clear lock on her location, they won't stop until they've grabbed her. Now we go back to Nancy, Steve, Jonathan, and Robin. They figure out that to properly fix the radio, they'll need to climb up a nearby tower and reconnect some wires at the top. Both Jonathan and Steve instantly volunteer. It's obvious why. Both of them like Nancy. They start low-key competing with each other, putting each other down in subtle ways while trying to look brave and capable in front of her. So both of them climb the tower like they're in some kind of Impress Nancy contest, working together yet still being rivals, connecting the tangled wires to restore the signal. Meanwhile, Murray arrives in a truck. His truck is loaded with gear, supplies, weapons, tools, everything they might need for their mission tonight. Because tonight their goal is to go after Vecna in the Upside Down. Dustin also slips away to check on his pet snake at school, planning something involving it. Back at the tower, Robin's radio finally starts working again after the fixes. Once Robin's show is done, she, Nancy, Steve, Jonathan, and Murray head to an underground hideout. There, the older group starts talking strategy. How are they going to capture or kill Vecna? At the same time, the kids' team, Mike, Will, Dustin, Lucas, and the others, are also gathering and planning on their side. They know this time they have to end Vecna for good. In the end, everyone's separate plans merge into one big master plan. Jim Hopper will go into the Upside Down. In the normal world, Steve will drive a car along the route that mirrors Hopper's path underground. Jonathan will go along with Steve, even though the two of them don't really get along. They'll stay in communication through walkie-talkies. Wherever Vecna might be hiding in the Upside Down, Hopper will move toward him while the others provide intel from above. Once Vecna is located, everyone will converge to try and destroy him completely. They're more organized and prepared than ever before. But we know from experience, their plans never go as smoothly as they hope. While Will is hanging out with his friends, he suddenly feels that strange sensation on his neck again. It's like static electricity and creeping dread all at once. He starts feeling dizzy, drifting into a weird mental space. He hears children laughing, echoing like they're far away, and yet right next to him. His friends quickly realize something is wrong and hold him, bringing him back to reality. But it's clear, the old connection between Will and the creatures of the Upside Down is still active. Next, we focus on Mike's little sister, Holly. She's playing on a swing when a chubby boy named Derek shows up and starts pushing her way too hard. Holly gets scared and uncomfortable. She gets off the swing and walks over to a fence. There, she starts talking to someone. But from our perspective, no one is there. She looks like she's talking to an invisible person. Her teacher notices this and quietly watches. She clearly sees Holly standing alone, talking and responding as if someone is actually with her. Later, the teacher calls Holly's mom, Karen, to the school and explains what she saw. Holly seemed to be talking to someone who wasn't there at all. Soon after, Mike comes to pick Holly up. He sees her sitting there and asks why she's alone. Holly tells him she saw an invisible man. She calls him Vashit. She says this Vashit told her that monsters are coming and they're going to eat her, but that he can save her. Mike doesn't really believe this. Kids say strange things all the time. He gives Holly a small toy and tells her to keep it with her whenever she feels scared. He says this toy protects children and will protect her too. Holly accepts it and feels safer. Somewhere else in Hawkins, we see a woman known as Dr. K working inside a secret lab. She's running experiments on something we can't fully see. A soldier comes in and reports that they still haven't found 11. Dr. K responds coldly, no matter what happens, 11 must be captured. She is convinced 11 is at the center of everything that went wrong in Hawkins. Back with Hopper and 11, tempers are rising. 11 tells Hopper that she wants to go with him into the Upside Down. She wants to fight alongside him, not hide behind walls. Hopper refuses. He says she's not ready, that it's too dangerous, and that she should stay at home and help from the outside. He flat out says, "I'm not taking you with me." 11 is furious. She feels like he doesn't trust her at all, and the anger builds in her. Meanwhile, Andy is at school, minding his own business, when he opens his locker and finds a snake inside. We know exactly whose snake that is, Dustin's. Dustin planted it there to teach Andy a lesson and scare him. Andy freaks out, jumps back in terror. But the look on his face tells us something. He's not going to forget this. He will definitely want payback that we go to the hospital and see Max. She's still in the ICU, motionless, in a coma. She hasn't woken up since the last battle. Machines beep softly around her, and she looks pale and fragile. Lucas is always there beside her day after day. He plays her favorite songs on the radio constantly, hoping the music will somehow pull her back to consciousness, just like it had once saved her from Vecna's control. But Max still doesn't wake up. Will is also there for a while, but eventually he leaves because he remembers he has something important to do. As he exits, he sees Robin arriving at the hospital. Robin is there to see Vicky, who is working as a nurse now. Robin finds Vicky and explains that she can't take her out on a date tonight as promised, but they can go tomorrow night instead. The two of them share a gentle, romantic moment and kiss. Will sees this from a distance. Before Robin notices him watching, he quietly slips away, embarrassed and overwhelmed. Later, Dustin visits Eddie's grave. After Eddie's death in the previous season, Dustin makes it a point to visit him and bring flowers. When he reaches the grave, he discovers something upsetting. Someone has killed his pet snake. Dustin realizes immediately who did it, Andy. Right on cue, Andy appears with a couple of tough-looking friends. They surround Dustin and taunt him. "You thought you were clever, huh?" Dustin tries to stand up for himself, but it's one kid against 4. They beat him brutally, punching and kicking until his nose is broken and he's badly hurt. Meanwhile, the other kids are still waiting for Dustin, not knowing where he is or what's happening to him. When he doesn't show, they reluctantly assign his role in the mission to Jonathan. As night falls, 11 goes to see Mike. They talk, but nobody still has any idea where Dustin is. Normally, Dustin is always the one in the front when danger calls. Today, his absence feels strange and wrong. Hopper and the others gather. It's finally time. The entire group assembles for the night mission. Hopper is going to the Upside Down. Steve will drive the car above ground, and Jonathan will go with him. They make their final preparations. Hopper moves through tunnels and underground passages until he reaches a spot where a gate to the Upside Down is still open. The whole area is crowded with soldiers. The kids watch from a distance through binoculars and report every soldier's movement to Hopper via walkie-talkie. When a moment comes where fewer soldiers are nearby, Hopper dashes and sneaks into the back of a truck. This truck is headed directly into the Upside Down. The truck crosses the gate. Hopper is now officially back inside that nightmare world. Up in the real world, Steve and Jonathan drive along the route above him, trying to mirror his path as closely as possible. They keep communicating through radios, feeding him updates. But in the Upside Down, the truck suddenly grinds to a halt. A group of monstrous creatures, Demogorgon-type beasts, blocks the way. They're like a new brutal variant of Demogorgons. At the same time in the real world, Will's connection flares up again. He senses these monsters. His body reacts as if he's standing right where they are. The Demogorgon creatures attack the soldiers and start killing them ruthlessly. They also attack the truck Hopper is in. Hopper barely manages to escape and avoid being torn apart. The chaos breaks his radio contact. Hopper's connection with the outside world goes dead. Even though Hopper's link to the others is cut, Will is still connected to the monsters. He feels what they feel and sees what they see. Through this link, Will senses something terrifying.